Hello everyone. So today, and here we are, I'm going to talk about a jazz bass, a Fender bass. Not only just a Fender bass, the Flea Jazz Fender bass. I'm going to show it in the video that's coming up right after I talk a little bit. So when somebody buys a guitar, electric guitar especially, bass, doesn't matter if it's a jazz bass, precision bass, if you don't know how to do anything, you're going to spend a lot of money bringing it to a guitar tech or a luthier. In New York, most people are charging $75 to $200 to check your stuff out. And you don't know if they're good or not unless you read reviews. So, I'm just going to go over some essentials that everybody should have when they buy a musical instrument, especially a guitar or a bass, okay? So the first thing you definitely need is a tuner, right? It's not gonna know what sound right now because I'm not playing anything, but this clips onto the headstock, and when you pluck the string, it'll tell you what note it is, okay? So you could easily look this one up on Amazon. Most of them will either be battery powered or rechargeable. Get the rechargeable. You don't want the battery to start to go dead and have to buy a battery, and that will go forever. Okay, so some essentials that you need is a tuner. You can't play the instrument if it's out of tune. It's that simple. You need to have a tuner. You should always check the tuning of your instrument prior to practicing, because otherwise, if it's out of tune, you're going to be listening to something that's wrong, and you're going to be training your ear and your hearing incorrectly. And you don't want to do that. It's a waste of time. The next thing you need is a winder for the tuning pegs. All right, this helps to wind the string. You need to get this. If you have to get new strings, definitely you need to have one of this. And this one comes to cut the string ends. Okay, so if you replace your strings, there's a lot of people I know that used to go to Sam Ashley, used to pay them $50 to put their strings on, or $100 for a setup. You need to learn how to do these things, okay? So this is an important instrument. See? So you got to wind it, because when you put the new strings on, when you're tuning your guitar or your bass, it's just maybe a few turns, right? That's it. When you're putting new strings, you need to do this because you're going to be doing it for a while and it gets tiring. Also, you need some type of wire cutters, which this has also, or you could buy your own wire cutters, which I have in this bag. Okay, so so number one is the tuner. This is number two. You want to keep your fretboard nice and moist because it's wood, right? So I recommend this. Lemon oil, some people use coconut oil. That's a personal preference. You definitely need a rag to clean it off, right? You can use paper towels if you want. A screwdriver is important. You want something with multi-heads, right? Flat Phillips, all these things are super important. This one has it in the back, and it's a ratchet, so it helps. You definitely have to have one of these also if you own an instrument, like a guitar or a bass. You have to be a little brave to try to fix things, and there's a million videos online. I learned a lot. I could fix anything now. Next thing you need to have, this is probably one of the best things. It's expensive. It's from StewMac, but it has everything you could imagine in there. You don't even need this with it, but I would recommend more of a heavy duty one, but it has everything you can imagine in there. I mean, anything that you need to do for the guitar, just for normal stuff, this has everything. It's worth it. It's super tiny, right? Look, super tiny, so you could do anything that you need to. If you need to extend it, there's an extender there. This is an amazing thing from StewMac. I've gotten other companies that falls really short. It might be half the price, but you're not going to get more than use out of it than a regular screwdriver. This is amazing. Okay, so I would definitely recommend this from StewMac. I put one of the best on there, of course. And then from there, if you're going to start to do any type of setups, you need a good ruler that has 30 seconds and 60 fourths on it. Don't have my glasses on right now, but that's this. The rulers could get very expensive, but you could find something really good and inexpensive, of course, on Amazon. So these are the things I recommend you have, especially when you just first start learning how to play. The reason why a lot of people don't fix their instruments, first of all, they're afraid, they don't know how, which is understandable because you don't want to break anything, but you can't be so afraid where you never try. But to buy these things requires money. So some people are like, oh, I don't want to buy this. I mean, no matter what, you need you need a tuner. If you're not putting your instrument in tune, you're just wasting time. So this is a must-have, right? So most people are like, oh, I don't want to buy all this stuff because it adds up. $15, $8. I don't remember how much this was. This could have been 30 something, less or more. You know, all this stuff starts to add up. So you're like, oh, you know, that's $80 worth. I could just give it to somebody and they'll fix it for me. But every time you have an issue, you're gonna have to bring it to the person to fix. And that will add up. Not only over time, will add up very quickly because one visit will be just what you need to buy these things. And there's amazing videos on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and you go StuMac, they could show you basic setup stuff. I mean, this is a world-renowned company for guitar stuff and bass stuff, of course. And from there, that's it. I got the flea bass, came today. I just put some stuff on it. I'll just show real quick. So this is the road-worn jazz bass, flea. I think they said 61. So from here, you have volume and tone. It could be the backwards what I'm saying it, but you have each individual for each pickup, right? So here's a good example. Right now, let's tune the bass. So let's see if I could face this to you. Okay, so I put all of them in tune, except for one. Look, so you see if I'm gonna pluck the top string, it's E. Right, so that shows a little bit, it's a little flat. Slowly adjust it, slowly. So that's E. Let's go to A. That's a second from the top. Most people say the bottom. See, it's a little flat. Now we go to the next one, D. Perfect. Let's go to G. Flat. I want to right in that sweet spot. So G, you have to check them all at the end. Check them all, just make sure they're all in tune still. So sometimes when you tune the other ones, it'll pull one of the other ones out. So now that's F. That's not good. Now it's good. A still good. D. G is a little sharp. Gotta lower it a little. Whenever you're tuning, it's better to go down and then up. Don't go up and down because you could break a string. Okay. All in tune. So this is the most important thing that you need to do any work on your bass guitar. All right, so the most ghetto setup. I don't have fancy cameras or anything like that. I'm just trying to share some stuff and help. With most of my videos, people enjoy it, they watch it, and they leave. If you like the stuff, please put a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. You know, somebody might complain about what order I said it with the notes. When you're looking at the fretboard and it's like this, you're actually counting 1, 2, 3, 4 strings. So if you the thickest string is E, then that's considered the 4th string. The 3rd string, A, D, and G. If you're looking at reading music and stuff, it's always gonna go from 1, 2, 3, 4 up this way. All right, so the E string is not the 1st, it's considered the 4th. But I'm gonna show you what happened when I got this bass and the little things I had to do, because even though it came from the Fender factory, the setup was not perfect. It was okay, but there was a lot of buzzing. I don't have that in the video. I just showed you what I did after I fixed it. All right, so hope you enjoy. When you get a new instrument, watch some videos. Stu Mac puts a lot of good content out there. There's a lot of other amazing people. If you don't know what the specs are, put it in Google, Fender factory specs for Stratocaster, Telecaster, Jazz Bass Precision. It'll tell you everything. You know, the most important thing is not to be afraid to try. The most important thing, if you're gonna learn anything, you have to learn how to tune it, because you can't play it if you don't tune it. Learn how to change your strings, you know, and then from there, as you get confident, you can start to learn more. If you're like, I don't want to do this, then shell out the money, because I don't mind you paying me $100 an hour to do things that I enjoy. So I'm gonna put the video of showing what I had to do to fix it, the little things that I had to fix and check when getting this, because it didn't come ready to play at all. There's a lot of buzzing and other little things, but it took an hour to fix. So even with that, something so simple, it still took time. All right, so see you soon. Hope you enjoyed the content. I'm gonna put that next. Okay, this is a first time for everything. So here we are. I ordered the Flea signature jazz bass, right? So the thing is with basses and guitars is a lot of people don't know how to fix anything. You know, I have all my stuff out because I had to fix stuff and I just got it. So the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to fix anything. And to get a setup these days and to get things fixed and looked at, it's gonna cost you for sure $100 at most places, especially in New York. So I just wanna go over some quick stuff that happened with this bass because it wasn't perfect when I got it. Okay, so one thing that I noticed, there was a lot of buzzing here. And then one thing when I checked the first fret on the G string, it sounded like a sitar, right? So I checked the relief of the neck and it had no relief. It was straight as a board. So usually when it's very straight, there's a lot of buzzing here. So the first thing I always want to do is adjust the truss rod. Here, here, so I had to take off the pick guard. And you just give about 1/4 of a turn. That usually does it. So then I check the relief. Now it's perfect for what needs to be here for a 7 1/4 inch radius. So I think it was I think it might have been 35 millimeters. I don't remember exactly. So I adjusted the truss rod. So it gave it some relief, which is a little bit of a forward bow. The buzzing stopped right away. Then from there, after you check the truss rod, which is in here in the heel, and then from there, you want to retune it. Make sure it's in tune. So then from there, I took my rocker and I pretty much checked to see if there was any, there was a little bit of fret buzzing in the 7th fret. So it was just really quick. I just crowned it a little bit, it took literally 30 seconds, and that's gone. Then from there, you want to check, after you tune it, you want to check the intonation. So I did that, and G was sharp. So it's like, what does that mean, right? So if you have a sharp note, which for here it's the G string, so this is G in a higher octave, right? From here you want to check also what it sounds like to do the when you do the harmonics. So that should check equally with tuning it. So this was sharp. So the thing is, when it's sharp on the tuner, the thing that you have to do is for the intonation, you have to stretch the string. So if it shows sharp when you're doing, let's say it's a G, it's perfect here, but it shows sharp. Now when you do the 12th fret, you have to actually take the intonation and stretch the string. You have to move it back. And you just do a little bit. From there you check it again by plucking, which I can't do with one hand. And then you check on your whatever you're using to read, and then that's it. So, you know, this came from the factory. You know, it's a signature model. It's the road worn. So you think there'd be a little bit more quality control. I mean, the frets right now, if I check the frets, they feel really good. They really are. You know, but there was a high fret here around this area. I had to crown it and bring it down to level it. So now everything's good here. There was no neck relief. When I measured it, I couldn't even get like 0.003 underneath it, right? And then from here, the intonation was good with the 12th fret until the G. This was sharp, so I had to go here, pull it back a little bit. When it's sharp, you go back, you lengthen the string, and now everything is good. I mean, even though I'm showing the video now, this took an hour to check everything. It took an hour. If you don't have the tools that you need to do all this stuff, you know, which costs money, it's going to cost you probably $100 for the setup. Same thing now with the strings. You go to the 17th fret and you measure it. So for the jazz bass, they wanted 7/64 on the 17th fret, and they want 6/64 on the treble side. So when you measure it with a ruler, you want to look at the string, and then you would measure it by trying to read underneath. So whatever the number is underneath. And then from there, once you have the intonation done, then you could start to change the action. The action is raising here in the saddles. If you lower or raise this, this is changing the action. Some people like high action, low action, but if you can go to factory standards, you start the 17th fret and you measure it. So this was 7/64 and this was 6/64. So hopefully this could give you a little bit of insight when you're checking your bass, especially if you just got it and they said they set it up and they didn't, but this was from the factory. If you're getting major buzzing in the first fret, that doesn't mean that the frets weren't leveled or anything. Usually it means that the neck is very straight and you have to give a little bit relief. So right away, you go there. So the first thing you always want to do is tune it, make sure it's in tune. Second step would be give it relief with the truss rod. Usually one of the acronyms I learned from somebody from the Fender Custom Shop is train. Tune, make sure all of them are in tune. Then from there you go to the relief. Once you give it a little bit of relief, you have to know how much relief goes in the neck. That requires some tools and stuff. From there you tune it again once it's in tune. Next you go to the action. So that's where you measure it to see what it is from the string to the top of the fret. Then from there you check the intonation, which is checking if this is E, then it should be the next octave, A, next octave, the string is D, next octave, G, same thing. And you could check with the harmonics if you know how to do that. Remember, if it's sharp, when you're checking the 12th fret, if it's sharp, you lengthen the string by pulling it back, and then you check again. You retune it, you check the intonation till it's perfect. You do that with each string. A lot of times, it might be one string, it might be all the strings. So it depends. This one, came from the factory, and it was just the G string. So hopefully that helps. Good luck and enjoy music, because music is life.